Tyler, the host. Would you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
No problem, Tyler. Let's go.
Okay, who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
I'm Darryl Harris, a writer, director of the movie Wake Up, We Killing Ourselves, alongside with my guy August. You know, just an entrepreneur of all.
When you were my age, did you ever imagine you would become a film director, or did life surprise you?
It definitely surprised me. When I was your age, I thought I was going to the NBA. So I was real good at sports, basketball, football, them type of things, baseball. So that's why I thought I was going somewhere in the major leagues. I didn't think I was going to be writing a movie.
What makes Philadelphia special for telling stories on film?
Um, what makes Philly special is we have we adapt, to the things that's not the norm, you know, and it molds us into the individuals that we are, So it's things that we live through that other people wouldn't make it through, So they like to see that story of what we going through in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's entertaining to them, but it's real life for us. Oh my, gotcha.
What was the hardest moment in your journey when you almost gave up on filmmaking?
Um, I never almost gave up on filmmaking yet, but it's definitely been a journey. Just the little hiccups, things you go through as far as recording, getting everybody together on time, on one accord. You had them behind the scene things where the camera stopped working and you think you got a dope scene and then you go back and there was no audio on the scene. So it's them type of things, but we get through it, we make it happen. You know, yeah.
If you could make any movie in the world with no limits, what story would you tell?
That's a good question, man. Um, I would tell my story, which is a web series I started writing called Broken Her. But I would tell my story, so they can see, where I came from. Everything wasn't peaches and cream. I've been through a lot to get to where I'm at and make it happen. So that's what I would tell my story. Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want people to feel after they watch movie director you direct?
I want them to feel as though they learned something from the movie that they can apply to everyday life. I want it to be educational to them as well. And for the kids, I want them to see, that you don't have to be a follower. You could be a leader and still, make out good in life. You know, that's it.
If a kid like me wants to become a director one day, what should I start doing right now?
I would start writing down your experiences, things you're going through in life, you know, to tell your story. So that's what I would start doing, writing down everything I'm going through, how your feelings, tap into you got a notepad on your phone, tap into that notepad, how you feeling that day, write it down, and you'll create your own story. Yep.
Where did your movie ideas come from? Your life, your dreams, or the people around you?
So this particular movie, Wake Up, We're Killing Ourselves, is based off a true story. So my cousin was gunned down in 2007 in the schoolyard that I run my basketball league out of, Kennington Middle School on 15th and Ontario. So I brought the book out first. So after I brought the book out, then I wrote the script to the movie for the book, and then just told his story, from my perspective. So that's how I did that. And like I said, we got a host of movies coming up now. So yeah.
Do directors ever get second scared before a movie come out?
You feel nervous. You definitely feel nervous until it hit that big screen. You always there at the theater when it hit that big screen, everything just is like we here now. That the nerves is gone, that everything is gone. It's we making it happen. You know.
Has a movie ever changed your life?
Um, yeah, this movie changed my life. This movie changed my life. It showed me where I could take it to. You know, um, what I can make off of it, like what I made off of the movie, what me and my partner made off of the movie. it showed me like it's a whole nother avenue, a revenue to make money. You can make money in your sleep, writing movies. You know, people up watching movies while you sleep. That's royalties that's coming to you. Once you get it on certain sites, you're getting paid while you sleep. So that's something to tap into. It's a whole nother revenue. You know, yep.
What's a vision you have for your life that nobody else could see yet?
Um, Changing my entire community. One brick at a time. Building I want to build our own indoor gym for my neighborhood because we had issues getting indoor gyms for my traveling team. So I'm gonna build a whole. I want to build a gymnasium for my community. Mm,
Did people ever doubt your vision when you first said you wanted to become a director?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had a lot of people doubt my vision, but you can't. And this is what I did learn. You can't share your vision with everybody. It was people that I said I'm gonna put my movie on, in the theaters. And, yeah, okay, because they don't know where to start. So I had actors show up to the casting calls. Is this a paid gig? Not at the moment, but it will be. Yeah, I'm not acting in the movie, and most of the actors got paid now. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and it ain't no circling back either. If you ain't see the vision, you seen the vision. We don't need you around. You know.
What moment in your life made you realize filmmaking was your purpose?
Uh, because it came so natural to me. Like I had fun. I enjoyed doing it. So that's how I definitely know it's my purpose. Just telling the story and seeing the lines that you write down and seeing them actors and actresses deliver what you wrote is just dope. It's a dope feeling, man. Yep.
What is something you had to sacrifice to chase your dream?
Something I had to sacrifice. Um, Time. Time. I'm pretty good at time management now, but it's shooting this movie. I was running two basketball teams, running two traveling basketball teams, being a full-time father, working a full-time job, and bowling. So it was a lot, you know. And then I'm a massage therapist as well, so it's like I had to balance everything, at one time, but made it happen, you know, made it happen.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Um, don't waste your time. I wasted a lot of time in situations I shouldn't have wasted my time, and I would tell them don't waste your time. Your time is definitely priceless, man. So is your peace. That's what I would tell them. Yep.
Who in your family would be the most proud of you? What you're doing today?
Everybody in my family, I would say, but my daughter she's definitely proud of me. But I would say everyone in my family is proud of me. Yep.
When people talk about Darryl Harris,
hmm
your years from now, what do you hope they say about you?
Um, that he did everything he said he was going to do. Yep.
If your life was turned into a movie, what would the title be?
Uh, that's a good question, man. Um, I don't know, man. Let's see. Prosperity. That's the name of the title. Yep.
Why would it be that?
Because I prospered in everything I did in life. Everything. And just like I said, writing a book from scratch made it happen. Movie director made it happen. Running a youth organization made it happen. Being a great father made it happen. Being a pillar in my community made it happen. All from my upbringing. So that's why I would title it prosperity. You know, everything I did in life, I prospered at. Yup.
I think the directors needed to hear that.
hmm
Thank you so much for spending the time to speak to me. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in, Visionaries. This is Free World Vision. I'm your host, Tyler. Until next time, stay inspired and keep building. Peace.
Thanks for having me, man. You got Darryl Harris, writer and director of Wake Up, We Killing Ourselves. We got some things coming up. 4 different movies coming up. We got Innocence. We got Direct Message, was a serial killer joint. We got Tavia, and we got the Huskies, which is the prep charter story of the first Philadelphia Public League team winning the state championship back to back. And May 24th we got the bike race with Moolahs and my little cousin Big at Erie Avenue. We starting at Broadnary, and we going to the I think the NGLR Center or something like that. April the 10th, which is next Friday, we got the bowling event at Castor Avenue with my cousin Pooh. That's it, man. That's all I got to say.